So I think it's official. I've become a BFS reel junkie because I have yet another Bait Finesse reel that I really don't need. So today we're gonna unbox the Doviello / Solo King Acura. So many people love this. This is probably the best selling of the Dark Wolf Ultra clones. And as a bonus, it's available on Amazon, so you can probably have it in a day or two. So let's get right to it. So the box of this is, it's a nice box. Definitely a nice box. Oh, look at this. They've got one of the little line minder things that keeps you from reeling the end of your line into the reel. That's cool. Here's the spare spool. So this is one of the key things. This comes with a deeper spool, and it actually holds a good bit of line. And then we got the reel, and this one also has made an attempt. They've got the foam cutout in there. That sucks. Well, at least I don't have to worry about being the first one to put a nick on the reel. It's already got one in it from the factory. So, oh well. This Acura on this side has the little brownie type looking thing here. Okay, I think everything clicks on this as well. So here's the drag clicker. Not real loud. Here's the drag star. And here is the spool tension adjustment. Which I'm not really sure where to set it right now because I usually use my lures at this point. You know, it feels nice and smooth out of the box. Yeah, no, okay. I thought the brakes were tight, but their brakes click as well. 30 different adjustments on the brakes. Pretty sure the brakes on this one are the same as like the Genius and the Micro Monster. Exact same brakes as the Genius and the Micro Monster and the Elf. You know, so this is truly one of the second generation clones. Spool, sort of like off-center porting, which is kind of cool. So this shallow spool is right around like 5 3/4 grams without the bearing. It says it holds 100. It even says it'll hold 100 meters on this. I mean, maybe it does, but to get the lightest casting performance, you're not going to want to put that much line on there. It makes me wonder how much they say it holds on the deeper spool. Well, the deeper spool is not marked. Oh, wait, here it is. It's on this side. It says it'll hold like 150 meters. I just can't believe that maybe it holds them. I mean, there's a lot there. And this says this is the HICC 50 Pro. I guess the Pro is the one that comes with the extra spool, and of course, you know, it's got the bearing already on it. This deeper spool still only weighs 7 grams, so it can do some pretty good casting. Sort of curious to try this out, and it might stay in my collection for a while just due to the deeper spool if it casts pretty good with the deeper spool. So let's get the shallow spool back in here. Slides right in. You know, and again, this is basically just, I don't want to say just, because the Dark Wolf Ultra is still arguably one of the best budget Bait Finesse reels out there. This one, a lot of people think it outclasses it. Again, having the deeper spool option just gives it more versatility. I mean, it feels nice and smooth right out of the box. I mean, it's sort of, you know, some reels feel really tight when you first get them out. This doesn't feel bad at all. It's nice and smooth. Feels good in the hand, but again, it's just like the Micro Monster or the Genius or the Dark Wolf Ultra. It's a very classic low profile design. So let's talk about some of the other specs on this. This is the 7.1:1 version. I didn't get the high speed. I've got all kinds of high speed version reels. And so this is the 7.1:1. It retrieves only about 22 inches per turn. So it's a little bit less than some of the other models. I believe it has 8.5 pounds of drag. This says 20 pounds on the box actually. So this has 20 pounds of drag. That's wonder if I should get a drag tester and start figuring out if these things actually have as much drag as they say. 20 pounds is pretty high. I mean, I'm not going to run 20-pound line. And so for me, when I'm normally running 6 or 9 pound, I expect them to have right around that 4 kilograms, the 8.8, 9 pounds worth of drag. Some of them have 10 or 12. You know, they go up to 5 kilograms. This is saying 20 on the box, and I'm not, that's a lot, especially for a small 50 size reel. And I don't think it's got anything crazy in the brake design. I think it's just got carbon drag washers. No, it's all in Chinese. Huh? Not gonna help me. I mean, it's just got a couple. It's just got a couple drag washers. So I think maybe they messed up when they went from the Solo King packaging to the Doviello packaging. That's just my guess right now. 20 pounds of drag just seems like an awful lot for this particular reel. And you see here it says 20 pounds. It is saying 110 yards on the shallow spool and 155 on the, 165 maybe on the deeper spool. They're also saying 11+1 ball bearings. These really don't spin very well at all. I'm not always in the mood to you know me, I like to fish. I like to try new things. I like to try new reels. I like to see how they fish. I'm not always the guy to completely tear them down. If you want to see somebody tear down every reel, that's why the Bait Finesse channel, Peter Kim. That's why he's here, right? We can follow him along. I don't know. I expect if they're bearings, they should spin a little bit better than this, and they don't. Granted, my you know, so here's the Shimano Aldebaran, and you can see how it spins with the bearings in the handle. And it's you know, now granted the Aldebaran I've been fishing it for a year and a half, and I haven't cleaned or lubed the bearings up here, and you can see they spin like crazy. Whereas if I try to put this one, it's just, so, you know, there has been some instances of, whether they're factory errors or other things, where, you know, reels are listed as 11+1 bearings, and I assume when they have that many, they're in the handle, but this doesn't feel like bearings in the handle. The color, this, although you won't see much of it, and again, not that color really makes a difference in how it fishes, but I don't know, you sort of want good looking gear. Or at least I sort of want good looking gear. I want things to look good together. And I'm not sure how much out on the market this odd deep bronze color matches up with. So from that perspective, you know, I wish they would have gone with a little bit more of the normal stuff, but I get it. Everybody's trying to stand out. They're trying to look a little bit different. They don't want somebody to look at their rod or their reel and say, oh, that looks like an X, you know. So I understand it. They want them to look a little bit different. At the same point, it starts making it harder to pair things up and look aesthetically pleasing. So I'm not sure yet where I'm going to throw this reel, but I'll be putting it on something really soon. Price-wise, this is available from Amazon. I think I picked it up for $66, which isn't a bad price at all. You can routinely get them a little bit cheaper from AliExpress. I'll have links to both down in the description. The benefit of getting it from Amazon is, you know, if anything's wrong with it and you don't like it, it's really easy to return it, right? It's not going to cost you anything. But the second thing is, like, you can order it today and have it probably in 2 business days. In fact, in a lot of places, Amazon even delivers on Sundays, so you might be able to get it in 2 days or less. This one did get delivered very quickly. And it's one of the reasons I wanted to try it out, because it's now, it's not only one of the best budget reels out there, it's now one of the most easily available budget reels. And so I don't expect to have any kind of, like, oh, I don't like this reel at all, because I've liked every other reel in the family. And so that's why I'm like, do I really need to try this or not? But once it became easily available on Amazon, I'm like, well, let's give it a shot. The other thing is I want to spend a little bit more time with this deep spool. So I may put a little bit heavier line on this and throw it on a rod that's rated a little bit heavier, and maybe I'll go after some bigger fish and really put this to the test. But we'll see how the the spool does with a little bit heavier line on it. So I'm not necessarily going to say, hey, how low does this cast? Because we know that if you put, aftermarket bearings, they're like the 834 bearings, same as all the other clones basically. If you put aftermarket bearings in this with the 5 gram spool already, you're going to be able to cast 1 gram. Right? There's no doubt about that. You may be able to cast right around 1 gram on the right rod with the right technique right out of the box the way it is. Maybe flush the bearings or something. But honestly, this one feels pretty good right out of the box. So what I haven't done a lot of is really test some of these smaller Bait Finesse reels. Now I did put the Tank 150 through a little bit of the paces on some heavier stuff, but I haven't done a ton of fishing slightly heavier lures, fishing for bigger fish with these clones. And so with the deep spool, I think that's what I'm going to do. In fact, I had somebody send me some, might have been 20-pound braid actually, which is a little heavy, but it says it's good for it. Right? Didn't it say that right on here? Yeah, 20-pound braid. So maybe that's what I'll do with this. Maybe I will throw 20-pound braid on this. I'll put it on a slightly heavier, like, power BFS rod, maybe the Shimano X Pride or something like that. Yeah, and maybe we'll see. Maybe I'll go after some pike. Maybe I'll make that muskie trip that I've been thinking of make once I get my signature Kistler rods in. I think that's where this is going to go. This is going to go a slightly different direction on how I'm going to test this out. And obviously I'll have the shallow spool, and so maybe I can spool it up with some other stuff and throw it in and carry it around with me as well. So I think the biggest thing going for this is you can get it from Amazon. You can get it right away. And so if you're in, at least if you're in North America, this might be the best option out there. That's another Bait Finesse reel. Pay attention to the channel for this one to come out. As always, I'll do a long-term review. And hey, if you want to check out my earlier in the year review of like the best Bait Finesse reels out there, check out this video right here, because the Micro Monster, some of the reels in there are basically clones of this. And so it gives you a good idea of some of the thoughts that I have and what are some of the other options out there. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.